Hello and welcome to the Kundalini podcast. That was Zen. This is Tao. I'm Vivek Govekar. Namaste. This is episode 77. Today I'm going to talk about a few things related to my process and reflect on the changes that have happened in my life since this process began. Now it's been 15 years. 2006 was when it began. And I can distinctly break this period down in a few stages. I've started writing a book, so I get at least about 8 or 10 pages done every day, and it's going well. Because of several things in my life being corrected, several of my past trends and patterns and toxic environments I was in and people I was associated with, and just things that were not conducive to life after an awakening, having changed those, it has become very obvious what I can do now with this awakening. Things have been healed, things that needed to be broken, relationships and past has been broken, a clean break, healing from that has happened, and then COVID happened. So a reset for the entire world along with my own little sob story that I was going through. It was not much of a sob story. It was mostly just getting out of the negative aspects of the awakening. So now I can break it down into 2 or 3 distinct phases. Me, a happy-go-lucky person, just out partying, having fun, got an awakening, 2006. 7 and 8 was spent coping with it, and I've discussed this in detail in my previous videos made from 2013 onwards. To about 2008 when my daughter was born. Different set of challenges and problems along with economic recession, having one income with my wife and me staying at home with an autistic child, bringing her up to speed to her, speaking patterns and being able to speak at the level of her peers while taking care of this Kundalini process. Now, certain habits I inculcated, which I have talked about: solstices, equinoxes, positive affirmations, prayers, why mantras are important, how it makes the process, molds it into what it is, how you have to control the energy through the bandhas, Mula Bandha, Uddiyana Bandha and Khechari Mudra. Mula Bandha, Jalandhar Bandha and Uddiyana Bandha, I believe the sequence is. And had to get caught up on all of these practices. Then went through a divorce in 2018. Spent a couple of years shaken up. But decided to try my luck out west with my creative abilities, with photography, with cinematography. And it has worked out well, being around people who are also into that. You tend to meet a lot more people that are creative on the West Coast in California, who have come here to make it big in Hollywood or in music and are attempting it in many different ways. Now, I already had the YouTube avenue, so obviously I had to make the decision to whether continue the same channel or try something completely new. And I chose to continue with what I had begun for the simple reason that this is easy for me to talk about, and I'm the only one who has had an awakening, so I can only talk about my process and various stages that it's at. That itself is a series by itself for the rest of my life. How is my awakening unfolding, right? And the next stage is now, after that buffer stage of 3 years, then COVID happened, and now the next stage of my life begins, where fortunately I've been able to keep the energy and the process going well. All of the past has been kind of dealt with in the right way, to the point that it's cancelled out. It's at a 0 beginning stage now. Today is the 1st of May 2021. I can honestly say that this is a clear reset from the past and a new beginning. With these videos, they have given me new energy. It starts its own feedback loop. I make my videos, I get a feedback from people, I watch them again, and I strike on ideas to express, things to expand upon. So, various stages of the development of this energy pieced together as my personal life of, okay, happy-go-lucky couple that were just enjoying life pre having a child, to awakening, then complete change in lifestyle, global recession, trying to survive, make ends meet, help a child with special needs, hit rocky times because of my changes in my personality, becoming a more spiritual, devout person, getting divorced, moving out west, healing from the past trauma, also trying to keep the energy going, and trying to make something out of my newfound talents and creative abilities. Presenting on camera, making these videos, taking pictures, being able to write screenplays. Now I have the time. Simple things like not having to deal with my daughter and having that distraction all the time, not having the friction between me and my ex-wife, which has actually evolved into a wonderful relationship now. It was meant to be, and it has to go through some tough phases. My abilities to express myself, to write about what I went through and how I see my past life compared to my current life, ties into everything related to this series of videos. Thankfully, I had these so that I could have an anchoring point at the toughest times in my life. After I got divorced and I moved out west and was on my own, and what I had to deal with, the thought process, has all been handled better as a result of some anchoring point that I left myself vis-a-vis that was then This Is Thou series of videos. So expanding on that is a joy to getting people caught up to my current state of being. For example, now I am with more creative type people. I end up making more videos with just my smartphone right now, but planning to build up with more equipment. Very excited about that. Exploring different things that I wouldn't have tried before. Skateboarding. I'd never tried it before. Still I'm a little hesitant, but definitely want to try. Surfing. Being more aligned with the principles post Kundalini awakening of where I am with energetics, meditation, a vegan lifestyle. Even though I'm not completely vegan, I do eat meat now, but understanding the value of certain things, being more green, like environmentally, being more woke, to use a much maligned word, but one that fits right now. Being more woke, and being able to do so without feeling ashamed of being that way, just because you're a misfit in a different environment, if you see what I mean. And adjusting to a new reality without any baggage from the past. That's the breath of fresh air, that you don't have to wait for the counter response from a set of people in your life. You can do something, get the feedback straight away, and refine your process for whatever you're attempting, right? As a result of doing all of these things, I have actually been able to put things in practice. For example, how do you remove all negative thoughts from your body? Okay. Now there's another book I'm reading called The Energy Code by Dr. Sue Morter, Morter. Beautiful book. It takes the chakric system, all the 7 chakras and what I'm talking about in the Kundalini process, and makes it into a method. One of the methods that I found out that she had put in exactly as I had found a way to do it, except I used the words cut, and she uses the word cancel, is when you find a stray thought come into your brain, which is negative, and you have now identified it as a negative thought. She says it's okay as long as you identify it and say cancel, and visualize yourself not going on that path, not visualizing the outcome of that reality. For example, if you say, oh, what if this doesn't happen? Whatever it is. And then you start imagining 5 days from now, this not happening or whatever it is. No, live in the moment. So say cancel, meaning that entire imagery and visualization is gone. You have chosen not to accept it, not to create an outcome based on that visualization, which if you hadn't put in a practice of mindfulness and catching such stray negative thoughts, hadn't made it a habit of positive affirmations, and your mind constantly being on that positive path, would have made an impact and increasingly created patterns on the basis of that thought. And now you've stopped that from happening. So today is a successful day right there. Fewer negative thoughts will emerge out of your brain to affect your reality the next day. Then you do more affirmations, visualize more positive things, and mainly just take even that experience and put it down on a piece of paper. The other day I found myself talking to a couple of my friends. My first instinct was, oh, this is dialogue. I'm writing a screenplay. This is spontaneous dialogue that I'm not going to get out of me imagining it. People are actually saying these lines, and I put those down. They found it a little odd, but I explained it to them. And I get some of my best source material from these things. So a negative thought not taken in and absorbed can also be fodder for your imagination to go wild in a fictional setting for a character in a novel or a screenplay that you're writing. But you don't have to absorb it in a personal way. One technique. There are many such techniques. So that's about observing negative thoughts and not letting them take root in your psyche. Replacing them with positive affirmations, mantras. Acting upon something and having a routine for that. Writing 3 pages every day. Leaves so much room for then making it a creative exercise. Where, oh, tomorrow I'm going to put this in there. Can only happen if you have actually put down 3 pages the previous day. The next day you have your mind. Now there are barriers to negative thought. There are positive affirmations being put in. You're in a good mood. You're excited about the creative energy you're going to expend into that endeavor the next day, writing 3 pages. And the entire creative pattern is geared towards your personal progress, putting something down, enjoying it, and not being bogged down by the past or negativity. But it can only be done through discipline and habits that you put in, and continuing those habits without fail, no matter how many gaps that you have. We all have difficulties in life that sometimes prevent us from doing the things we want to do and are good for us. That's why you set it up on autopilot, as in when I'm doing positive affirmations, I'm not thinking about those affirmations actively. But I do have a realization that I could have been spending that time doing something negative, and I have avoided doing that. Comes in handy in some other ways that you didn't even visualize and realized only later, oh, that's why that practice that I put in 6 months ago or a year ago has come in handy today. Oh, that's the outcome somebody else went on, someone else on another journey that was a friend of mine today. Friend of mine 6 months ago. And I know that person today. But looks like my life has changed for the positive in so many better ways. And that person is still struggling. Yeah, I can go and help that person. But distancing myself from that person 6 months ago when I made that decision was actually a smart decision for my own progress and growth. And for that, I'm not apologetic. That's what positive thinking does for you, and keeping up with the positive affirmations. For me, like I said, fortunately, having this Kundalini process in my back and having to tend to it, keeping the body fit, having to put in positive thoughts so that the process can go better, so I can make it work better, go through the Sushumna, get the creative abilities, whatever new things are happening because of it fusing my 2 hemispheres. Acting on the impulses given by the highest force, because now I'm in trance, now I'm in meditation, now I'm mindfully observing every thought and only taking the best thoughts in. All of that is a process, and these are some of the steps. Anyone can put them in practice, anyone can make their lives more positive, productive, and remove harmful, toxic influences from their life. These are some of the techniques that you learn along the way. I hope that was helpful. Thank you for watching. Please hit like, comment, or subscribe to my channel if you like it. Spread the word. This is Vivek Govekar saying goodbye. Be well.